Hi. This one still goes to boomers. You're going to have to realize that you were wrong about everything you told your kids to do. You're going to have to realize that you have no applicable wisdom for this generation. You're going to have to realize that nobody cares about your vacations that you're been on recently or back when things were good, even when you were like younger with a young family. Boomers are going to have to realize that the fact they have two cars younger than 5 years old and their son who works 40 hours at a warehouse or drives a 98 Ford Ranger where the frame is more rust than actual steel, and if he hits a pothole it might split in half while driving with his kid, your grandkid. Boomers are going to also realize that your kids do not owe you anything ever for any reason. Your job is to raise your kid to prepare them for the future. That is your literally only job as a parent. Everything else comes second or supporting to that. Okay? All other obligations outside of your family are second to your family. And as a Christian, God, as the head of that family, goes in the right direction. Not even your church obligations, your economic obligations to your company or whatever group come before your God-led family. And we were allowed to skip church because dad was tired. Or we work for companies that are Christian but make you work on Sundays. Or we work for companies that don't pay us enough, so we have to work on Sundays. Look at the church you go to, boomers. If there are not more 20 to 40-year-old men than anyone else in your church, it's dying. It is going to die. And I hope it does. Because boomers, you're going to have to realize you're the ones who scared people out of the church. You're the ones that head of administrations. You are Sunday school teachers. You are pastors. What you led the church to do scared your family out of the church, especially the men. Boomers, you're going to have to realize that millennials know more than you and are smarter than you, believe it or not. It doesn't matter what degree you hide behind. It doesn't matter what world lessons you learned in your hard knock life. You do not know more about millennials than millennials living right now, trying to raise families. You do not know actually anything. Because if you did and you were a good person, you would realize and wouldn't like the fact that men my age are destitute and dying from alcoholism and drug overdoses and suicide. And that more children have been aborted than men have died in World War II. At least on the American side. We don't know about the Russians. We are killing our own kids. Our families are falling apart. We've convinced ourselves that's a good thing, and the boomers were in charge the entire time. You're in charge now, as we walk through ourselves through another financial collapse worse than the 2008 recession, which was the last chance that anybody had to actually accrue any type of capital. But now we've already been bled dry. Men my age are burned out and disabled. Women are in charge of everything. Churches are shutting down because no one's showing up, and men are killing themselves. And who's been in charge this whole time? Teaching us the lessons of just put in front of a TV and watch educational programs. That kid needs to go to public school so they're socialized. They can skip church so they can do something for their future. No, it's not important to pray before bed and before and after dinner. No, it's more important that dad works extra money so we can afford the extra house so we can put extra things in it. Or a bigger house to put more things in it that have nothing to do with his kids so he can hold on to after they're out of the house. That he can't wait for the day that they're out of the house and he's not responsible for them anymore. And you wonder why kids don't want to have kids. It's because boomers said, oh, you have time. You're 29 years old. They're the ones who pushing back having kids at a good age. They're the ones who told their own kids that's more important to make money than go to church. They're the ones who told their family that mom is smarter than dad, and dads are all stupid, mean, and or absent. They literally created the world we live in now. And when we ask for clarification on what we're supposed to do, maybe optimizing a little bit so that families can be started again, they would rather pass laws that make it easy for them to escape taxation while pushing the cost down to the working class that are the millennials that they taught to do nothing for themselves. Boomers, it's your fault. Yeah. Completely your fault. Even if you didn't work in government, did you vote for it? Are you part of groups that do things unbiblical? Are there people... Are you watching TV shows that, like, paint the man as an idiot, a jerk, or absent, and the mom as the best thing that's ever happened? Are you watching shows that enforce stereotypes? And now you're saying it's racist for anybody else to do that? Who wrote The Simpsons? You know, it's like, it's not millennials, I can tell you that. That's all I'm saying. But your guys are blaming us for the fact that, like, everything's falling apart because we're so weird. You know, they make fun of us for getting participation rewards, but they're the ones who gave them. They're the ones who pushed for them. And they're blaming it on the kids when they act like 9-year-olds today. Tell them boomer no what happens. Because boomers, I'm sorry, the world doesn't revolve around you. It never should have. If it was going to end up like this, shoot. You know, people keep saying that we won World War II. And I look around and I'm like, you sure? Because I'm pretty sure we just became Weimar Republic. Like, women are just selling themselves for money so they can survive. There's pedophilia and rape and violence all around, people dying from drug overdoses. But boomers, because it's not happening in your gated community or your new subdivision or your millions of dollars house, because you never step foot in like a Jewel Osco in the middle of a rundown county, or to a Walmart where it's the only place to get anything for 3 towns in a rural area. You don't know what it's like to go into a Dollar General and it smell like weed and alcohol, even though they don't sell alcohol at my local local Dollar General. You know, like, we're living in apartments filled with mold and asbestos and mildew and rats and bugs. And it's a slum, and the slum lord is a boomer. Like, seriously, you guys need to, like, get together and be like, oh yeah, we are the baddies. Like, okay, CIA, FBI, who are the higher-ups? Who are the field officers? Who are the ones actually pulling the strings? It's not millennials, dude. Who's in that White House right now? Not a millennial. Not even an Xer. Straight up boomer. And the one before him was even older. So, like, you know, how is this any of our fault, and why aren't you guys doing anything about it? Why can't you step up and grow up? Put your TV remote down, quit scrolling on reels, get your attention span back, and talk to millennial men. Because I tell you what, none of us are happy. And if they are, they're on so many SSRIs or drugs that they don't even know what it means to be sad anymore. Or stoners. Or alcoholics. I can tell you, none of them are going to church, and the church I go to is the only place that I could have gone to, because they're the ones that maintain me. I have a good-ish church. No one's perfect. But I can tell you what, the people in that church have done more Jesus-like than anything else in my life. The reason why guys don't go to church is because boomer guys didn't go to church. They don't go to Sunday school. They don't show up, so why should they? Boomers, you got to realize that it's completely your fault that we're in the situation we are in. It doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make you evil. It makes you ignorant. And it's going to make you stupid if you keep doing it. Stupid is doing when you know better. Stupid is making a mistake when you had everything in your hands to not make that mistake. It's intentionally doing what's wrong, knowing what's right. Stupid and evil are very similar. And if you're going to be stupid, knowing that you're the only ones that have the capital and means to fix this, but you have to change your lifestyle and live below your means and reconcile with your family and realize that you've been wrong about most things you've told them. A good kid will come back and be like, okay, I don't hate you for it, let's move forward. A good Christian man would say, okay, let's move forward. None of this family trauma means anything, because it's only because we think we need to compete with each other. Where does it say to do that in the Bible? So yeah, boomers, it's your fault, but that doesn't make you bad people. What does make you bad people is now knowing that the public schools you sent us to didn't teach us anything and put every kid 1 degree away from someone who was raped by a teacher or counselor or coach or another student, or the fact that we went to your churches but we're encouraged by our own parents to keep going to church because we saw no value in it. Yeah, boomers, it's your fault that kids are now your kids. And I mean kids as in 30 to 40-year-olds. Okay, I'm a younger millennial. I was a 93. Some people call that was that a zillennial or a zillennial, whatever. But I did everything I was told as well as I could as a kid. And I'm responsible for falling on hard times when everybody's falling on hard times. The very people that should be taking care of their aging parents don't want to. Because, yeah, boomers, a lot of you made it feel like a burden to have kids or to take care of someone, or that their career mattered more, or that God comes second to countries where we don't actually follow the Bible. Sorry, boomers. Yeah, most of you don't even read your own Bible, so why would anyone go to church? You boomers, I'm sorry, you got to realize there's nothing we can do to fix the problem other than not doing anything, literally. Moving in, sitting down, and going all Martin Luther King Jr. style. Right? And just sitting there. Waiting for someone to do something. Because no matter what idea I try to give, or what I say, it doesn't fix anything. And it doesn't matter what other men my age say to their boomer extra parents. No one's listening to us. So We're just going to say no more. Start acting like adults, because boomers, it is all your fault.